How do you know you found the one? This is the Joyfully Married After podcast, episode 81. We're talking about finding the one.
Is there such a thing?
Everybody is looking for the one. But where are they?
The one what?
The one. THE.
Like, wait a minute. Like the one you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Who is the one? Where's the one? How do you know you found him when you see him?
Are you the one?
You could be the one.
You ain't the one.
Well, today we're going to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
How do we know that we found the one when we found it?
Well, I know. This is what I'm going to tell y'all.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you 5 things.
5 things.
Because there was probably more than 5. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you 5 things that told me Heath was the one.
Okay. And I got 5 as well.
Okay. I like that.
How about that? I have 5 ways to let you know how I knew that Queen Tracy was the one. So we're going to get into it.
It's kind of weird now I think about it, isn't it?
Why? Because it was so long ago?
So we've been married almost 32 years.
We've known each other. We've known that each other was the one for many decades now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's been decades.
Yes. And we have loud people that we've created.
Yeah.
In the
sorry
background.
About that. If you can hear it.
They may not be able to hear it, though.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, we're not going to.
It's completely fine. This is a real world podcast.
This is a real world podcast. And we just want to say thank you for joining us. So the first thing I knew is that he pursued me. I had no hesitation around if he liked me or not.
I was coming for you.
It was very easy to understand that he liked me and he wanted to be around me. So he pursued me.
That's the truth.
I didn't have to go looking for him.
No.
I didn't have to figure out if we were going to see each other today.
I was calling you. Hey, so what time are we going to connect tomorrow? Where are you going to be?
Okay.
Should I meet you after class?
Over here now. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna meet you. Okay, I get out. I'm gonna meet you right there.
And it was so exciting. It was so much fun. It was just, to be honest with you, it was clearly just a lot of fun. That moment in our lives when we were discovering one another. Yep. It was just a lot of fun. He made it fun. I tried to make it fun. Yep. And we were just simply 2 people discovering one another. Yeah, it wasn't anything more than that. I wasn't expecting anything from him. He wasn't expecting anything from me.
Except fun.
Just fun. We just wanted to have fun. We were both in our senior year at Howard. And I was like, hey, obviously I ain't got no boyfriend. I ain't got no husband. Let me get up out of here.
Just have some fun.
And just have some fun.
And look.
So...
what was the second thing?
The second thing was I just really felt secure being myself around him. I felt like I didn't have to put on any airs, that I could say anything I wanted to say. I could dress any way I wanted to dress.
Yeah, it was all funky.
I could wear my hair any way I wanted to wear my hair. It just didn't matter. It just didn't matter.
Because I was digging you.
Exactly. And I knew that. And I knew that. I felt 100% myself. You know how you feel around your girls, you feel around your family. That's how I felt around him, like when the first week of us dating each other.
That's a pro tip for some people though, right? Is I wasn't digging necessarily your clothes or your this or your that, or it was like I was digging you.
Right.
And that was real for me.
Yeah. The third thing was I was always laughing. He told corny jokes. I thought they were, I know you do, baby. I thought they were so funny. There's that word again. We were having a lot of fun. He would tell jokes. Yep. The other thing, y'all, he was confident. He was really confident. He wasn't questioning me, where I was going, what I was doing, and all that stuff.
You got to be confident to tell corny jokes.
You right, baby. You right.
I was not a professional comedian.
No, he was not.
But the confidence and the swag was something that was resonating with you.
Right.
And so just as you were comfortable, I was comfortable.
Yeah, it just made me feel comfortable. How confident he was in his goofiness.
Right.
And that's attractive. It was attractive to me anyway. For you all that don't like goofy brothers, I do.
Me and Russ winning.
You and Russ winning. We talked on the phone for hours when we did talk. It wasn't, we were in college. We were in our senior year. That was hard.
This is the fourth tip that you had.
That was hard.
The fourth way that you knew.
Yeah, it was like we couldn't stop. It was like talking to somebody you knew like forever.
Unforced conversations.
Yeah.
Marathon conversations.
Yeah, we did that for what, 2 weeks?
Diving deep. All the questions, getting to know one another.
We were busy, so we didn't see each other.
Yep.
And so we would be on the phone all the time and not falling asleep on the phone.
Like
talking, actually
engaging.
Talking. Yeah.
Learning about one another.
Yeah.
Learning your likes, learning your dislikes, learning about your background, learning your values.
He was so curious about me. And I was just as curious about him.
Need to know.
And then the other thing is when I met his friends, most of them were female.
Yep, I had a lot of female friends.
And I loved them.
Yeah.
And they loved me. And we all went to Howard together. But they were his friends from high school. And see, that told me a lot about him. That if this group of women, I mean, these women are big time.
Yeah.
These are doctors now. They're lawyers now. They're journalists. These people held him up. They edified him. They loved him. They were like sisters to him. And to me, that spoke volumes around who he was as a person and the level of respect that they had for him.
Yeah.
And it just really, really drew me even closer to this man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that comes from, sometimes it's the way that you were reared, the way that you were taught, what you've been exposed to, how to be a gentleman, how to have respect for people, respect for yourself. All of those things, I think, were part of what you were experiencing and what they experienced.
I love that, baby. Yeah.
So it was cool, right? It was all fun.
It was a lot of fun. Now, you said you had some things about me.
I absolutely have some things about you, baby, that I immediately knew that you were the one. So I have 5, just like you have 5.
I want to hear them.
All right. So the number one thing for me was the ease of conversation that I had with you.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important, right? Where you have to understand that, wow, this could be someone I could potentially be with forever. Like, I should probably enjoy this person's company. I should probably have someone who is easy to talk with. I should probably have someone who supports me maybe when I'm feeling down.
So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you started thinking about being with me forever because of the way it was making you feel when you were around me?
Wonderful.
And you hadn't really felt that before?
I was not thinking about a long-term relationship, marriage when I met you. But one of the things that I discovered very early on into our relationship was how easy it was to talk with you. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed how upbeat our relationship was. It was casual, yet it was funny, yet it was passionate, yet it had depth, yet it wasn't just one way or one-sided. It had lots of layers, and I just really enjoyed that.
It did.
So that was the first thing.
Okay, what's the second thing?
The second thing was I was astonished at how little drama there was in our relationship.
Yeah, I'm not a drama queen. I'm feisty.
Yes.
I'm talkative.
Yes.
But I'm not a drama queen.
No, I mean, I think people who've dated for a while or who have been in multiple relationships have experienced a number of different things, right? And so I think that sometimes when you have a relationship that you are going to experience a little drama or somebody is being a little extra, I don't
like it.
Those kinds of things. It's sort of like, well, why do we need to do that? Why don't we just like talk about what's going on.
But if a dude's making me cry and making me angry all the time, I don't want to be with him.
Right. And for guys, it was like, well, why are you doing this? And why are you, and are you going to do it? It was just none of that, right?
Nah, I wasn't interested in that.
I think another word.
Plus, you were so easygoing.
Right, because I'm an easygoing guy.
Yeah.
Another word that comes to mind is pretentious. That you were not pretentious at all.
Like, and that's so funny because people think that I am.
Yeah. But if I said to you, hey, let's go get a hot dog and hang out and sit on the wall over here and just talk.
Yeah.
You were completely good with that. Like, we had nice evenings out as well.
And you weren't broke.
Right. But the point I'm making is that you didn't feel a certain type of way and you didn't stick your nose in the air if I wanted just to go grab a hot dog or something from McDonald's and just hang out.
I mean, let me say this. You are not the first person. You're the last person, but you're not the first person to tell me that. Mm-hmm. I've dated millionaires who said, let's go to this cheap place and eat. And we went and I was fine with it.
Sure.
And afterwards they would say, I did that to see what you would do. And I was like
it was a test.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I just I grew up very provided for. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. And I grew up around people who had things. Yep. So things aren't really what you think they are. Mm-hmm. And they have nothing to do with the person. Yeah. So when someone that I'm interested in wants to get to know me better, I don't care about that.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's connected to kind of the way that I was reared as well, right? It was sort of like, just because somebody has a fancy car or
they can still be a butthole,
certain kind of flashy clothes or whatever it is, like my father taught me that doesn't necessarily mean that they have a lot of money.
No, we know that.
And so I learned that very early, right? Yeah. Very early on in my life. It was instilled in me. Mm-hmm. And it was also instilled in me that regardless of where people are in their lives, economically, socially, otherwise, is that people are people and you give them love and respect and you do the things because they are human just like you are. And so I think that was another thing that I was blessed with, was just the knowingness of how you treat people.
That's pretty much all it was. And I think that's what drew us to one another. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The third thing that really jumped out at me, baby, was that you were visually appealing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And you still are.
Oh.
So I got a good one. I got one that's beautiful on the inside and out, as people say. And what really attracted me to Tracy was like her smile. As you can see, it just beams. It just like cuts through whatever is going on.
My nickname in high school, some people used to call me.
And you have to. It was one of those things where it radiated through you, right? And Tracy has some people might call a je ne sais quoi, in terms of like just everything that comes through you is just flows, right? And I think when you are connected and when you are good with yourself, that also is a big component of what attracts others.
Yeah.
And so I think the moral of the story there is like when you're doing the inner work, when you are in a great place inwardly, that radiates and it comes through you and it's attractive to others.
Yeah.
So that's a pro tip for people who may be looking for a mate or wondering why they don't have a mate or really wants to be connected with someone else.
Right.
And I think that when you do that inner work, make sure that you're in a great place, and that will help you attract other people to you.
Yeah, I'd have to say the year or so before I met Heath, that's exactly what I did. Mm-hmm. I did inner work. I didn't date anybody. Mm-hmm. You may have been the second person I dated after I went through my year of absentia. Mm-hmm. And I was very clear. Mm-hmm. I was very clear about who I was and who I wanted to be with.
Yeah. That's cool, baby.
I guess it came through.
The fourth point I wanted to touch on here was that I was amazed that I did not find anything that I didn't like about you.
Oh.
I was like, how is this possible that like, and it's not, and that's a different thing that I want to point out to people. That's a different thing than saying there's nothing wrong with her or that she's not flawed.
No.
But for me, I think maybe because I had this open mindset and I was really enjoying getting to know Tracy, one of the things that really struck me was that I haven't found anything that I dislike about Tracy. So
my aunt even asked him that.
So for me, it was funny. I had that conversation with your aunt. She was like, "So how are things going?" I said, "Aunt Lee, I can't find anything I don't like about her." She said, "Oh." She just kind of chuckled. She thought it was very cute. But I think that really stood out for me.
She also asked you if we were having sex.
She did. That was another conversation. Like, yeah, she was very straightforward that way.
Yeah, she was.
But I think that we had great conversations. We talked about an array of topics.
Did we talk about futures? We didn't talk about stuff like that.
We went a lot of different places together. We spent a lot of time together. We talked on the phone quite a bit.
Well, wait a minute. You know what? We did not say how many kids you want.
I don't think we ever got into
We
that
never had. What kind of way? You used to say things like, once we decided we were going to get married, we would talk about it.
No, before then.
But before then, we didn't talk about how to be married to each other.
We were just enjoying each other's company.
Once we decided to get married, you had those conversations.
Right.
But it was after we decided to get married. It wasn't before.
Yeah.
We just didn't make it complicated, y'all. I think people make it too complicated these days. Make it really simple.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have days you don't like each other. Make it simple. Get together.
And the last point, number 5, was that what really struck me about Tracy was that you were just so classy. The way that you move.
Now that's a preference. Let's be clear.
Okay, so in my view,
there
right?
We go.
So I was raised.
People get offended real quick out here these days.
I was reared by this well-bred Southern belle, as they say. My mom was, she was ladylike, and she was dainty, and she was Southern, and she was
very
mannerable.
Genteel woman.
She was very genteel. Yes,
I wasn't genteel though.
That's another good word. But the way that you carried yourself, the way that you conducted yourself, the way that you moved, your diction, your je ne sais quoi, it was a very kind of a regal air, and I was like, I like that right there. So that is the kind of thing that does it for me. Like, I can see that as my wife. And so that was another thing that just really struck me.
Yeah, and just to share something with you ladies, that's something I hear, I heard a lot when I was single, was, oh, you wife material. There were people I would talk to that were like, oh, you'll learn to love me. I'll be rich enough. I had those kind of conversations with people, believe it or not. They're like, let's just try it because you're going to help me be what I want to be. Yeah. So glad I didn't take them up on their offers.
Oh, yeah. Dating world has been dating world for many, many decades.
But yeah, people were really, really direct about that. And I think what they saw was me being in my feminine self, as people call it today. That's who I was. I wasn't worried about a thing. I was taken care of. My father was taking care of me. I had, when you have a sense of who you are, your confidence, it exudes, and that's what he saw. So keep that in mind, ladies, when you're thinking about preparing yourself. If you want to be with someone, if you want to be married to someone of a certain type of person, if you act a certain way, if you are in your masculine, I don't even know if I want to call it masculine self, but if you don't exude a certain level of class, whether you come from that or not, you're not going to attract certain men. Now, granted, you might not want those men.
Right.
Let's keep it real. But if you do, you have to learn certain ways to be. And we can start with inner femininity, inner understanding and confidence of oneself.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay, cool, baby. I think the moral of the story is that, these were 5 things that jumped out at me.
Me too.
And these were 5 things that jumped out at you. And so I think for people, their list may be slightly different. But what we wanted to offer was maybe just some additional insight into some things that you can look for when you are finding the one.
And when you see it, grab it.
Go for it.
Go for it.